What's up, movie nerds? It's your girl CC, and let's get candid about Lilo and Stitch. I'm not even sorry to say this, but this movie sucked. Not only did it miss key points of the story and pale in comparison to the acting, the script, and the details of the original, but it changed so much that it wasn't even Lilo and Stitch anymore.
It's a fake.
It was just a cold, hollow facade of the original. This movie should have made me cry like a baby. But instead, it left me shaking my head in disbelief and wondering when it would be over. But the ending didn't even bring relief. It just made things worse because they completely changed it.
You're missing what makes me me.
If Disney wanted to put the kibosh on people asking for live-action remakes of their classic stories, then this was the way to do it. If you watch the original, I highly suggest you don't watch the live-action version because it will just make you angry.
I am so freaking pissed.
But that's just the beginning. Now we're diving into the acting, story, details, and reasons for the rating. Spoiler alert once we get to the rating.
You have been warned.
And let's get this party started.
I mean, really, let's do this, mother.
First up is acting, which I give a 1 out of 10 compared to the original, and a 5 out of 10 as a standalone movie. Frankly, the live-action acting was not up to snuff.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
There were times when the pacing was offbeat, and some of the acting choices were not the vibe. I mean, this one crucial point at the end of the movie, where Stitch shows himself as being reformed, just seemed rushed, and not as impactful as the original.
If it wasn't for your experiment 626, none of this...
Stitch.
What?
The actress for Lilo was very cute, and I think she did her role well, but I think there was just too much screaming on her part. And David had no presence in the movie whatsoever, which is honestly a detriment to the character and the movie.
But I know that there's no better cure for a sour face than a couple of boards and some choice waves.
Honestly, there was just no heart, no real belief that came from watching these actors on screen. Also, the two main aliens, Pleakley and Jumba, had a lackluster performance, and Jumba's voice was a travesty.
Your voice is grating on my ear nubs.
Now, for the story and script, which I give a 1 out of 10, this might seem harsh, but you'll see why. Because yeah, as far as adaptations go, the movie was doing alright with staying along somewhat with the source material until the ending, which is where this thing just went completely off the rails in the worst possible way.
He might be okay.
I mean, the signs were all there that this was not gonna be a good script or a good adaptation. For instance, when Nani wanted to be a marine biologist instead of a surfer, when Nani wasn't more present in Lilo's life. Honestly, the addition of that old grandmother character just seemed to take Nani's character and split her in two. Why did we need her?
I'm utterly useless.
When Lilo wasn't more quirky, when Stitch being an alien wasn't really a secret. I mean, he outed himself in front of that whole wedding procession and then several other times? Like what?
This is supposed to be a secret.
When Gantu wasn't in the movie at all, and then they turned Jumba into the evil antagonist. When Bubbles wasn't the social worker. He was just a CIA agent and then kinda became a social worker. I mean, another part of the original story was that this was a huge reveal at the end.
You look familiar.
CIA, Roswell, 1973.
When David was barely in it and not suave at all. I mean, this man had presence in the original, but not here. And then also when Pleakley and Jumba didn't have the weird, funny disguises.
Truly, she's just ugly.
You know, yeah, the signs were there, but the clincher that made this movie awful came at the end. And the ending that Disney thought would beat the original ending, because the original sucked so bad to Disney that they had to completely change it, was that Nani gave up Lilo.
What are you, insane?
What? Ohana means apparently nothing at all. Also, if we're gonna throw logs on the fire, the way that Lilo named Stitch in this movie was just absolutely ridiculously stupid. I mean, it was on par with how the 2015 version of the Fantastic Four named themselves.
Gotta say, it's fantastic.
Say that again?
It's fantastic.
Guys, I got it.
Next is the theme, which I give a 1 out of 10 across the board. Again, ohana means literally nothing in this movie. In fact, ohana means give up your sister to a neighbor and then travel to the main part of America to go to college for marine biology, which is probably the stupidest thing you can do when you live on an island and they have colleges there. It's much better suited for marine biology.
Are you dumb or just stupid?
Details, which I give a 3 out of 10 compared to the original and a 5 out of 10 for a standalone movie. I mean, the mangled story just rushes past some really fun points, like Lilo discovering that Stitch is a record player. Or when Lilo tries to reform Stitch.
Model citizen.
Not to mention the cute little interactions between David and Lilo when he's wondering about Nani.
She thinks it's fancy?
Yes, these moments were in the movie, but they were just so incredibly rushed that they just felt non-existent. Also, David was just stripped of everything that made him special in the original movie.
Is there something I can do?
No, David.
And also, he had the opportunity to help Nani rescue Stitch at the end, and he just didn't. They just didn't let him help. I think they just wanted to give Nani save yourself, girl boss moments, when it wasn't necessary. No one thought that she was weak or helpless when they watched the original movie, just because David helped her at certain times and was just there for her.
I think I found you a job.
So why change that? Why take away most of his role? I mean, we all wanted cute, fun, role model David, and they just deprived us of that. Nani had plenty of girl boss moments. They didn't need to take away David to highlight that.
Sure, but I have to make 2 trips.
Here's your spoiler warning right now.
Spoiler alert.
And let's get into the reasons for the rating. This movie is a PG sci-fi comedy. And yeah, it meets the criteria for that. So let's talk about it.
The gross stuff.
Some of Stitch's actions, like spitting, sitting in a punch bowl, burping, deploying snot, rubbing his butt on the floor.
Ew.
You know, classic Stitch antics. And also, Lilo was seen once picking her nose, but you only saw the finger in the nose. It never came out of the nose, so...
Language.
So there was one baddish word in this movie. An individual said hell in this movie, so...
Time for violence.
If you've seen the original movie, that's about as violent as this movie gets. No one was seriously hurt, and you weren't even that worried about Stitch or Lilo in certain parts like you were in the original. I actually believe that the violence in the live action was tamer than the animated one.
Lame!
I mean, even though there was shooting, it mostly came from a portal gun, not from lethal weapons. Although there were lethal weapon shooting in this movie as well. And there was also a lot of cartoon violence towards the CGI'd characters, where the humans mostly get off scot-free. Even the one instance where Stitch was dragging down Lilo into the water because he didn't want to drown wasn't as intense as it was in the original. It was just kind of downplayed. They didn't even get mad at Stitch. I mean, sure, Lilo was taken to the hospital, but I'm pretty sure that was basically just because it was protocol.
I'm shaking in my custom baby seal leather boots.
Overall, I give this movie a 2 out of 10 across the board. You know, changing the script and the ending and not just making a faithful adaptation is literally what tanked every other aspect of this movie.
I don't want to see that or think of it again.
If the script was the same, the acting would have been better because they wouldn't have been trying to squeeze in a whole nother storyline that then caused the acting beats to be off, screwing up some key details and rushing some key moments, whether it was funny or emotional.
Oh, I can't watch this.
It also completely ruined the theme of family and belonging, twisting the fundamentals of this story that just ends up leaving a very bad taste in your mouth. Were they trying to say that the original message wasn't good? Or that it was wrong?
No, it can't be.
You know what, I actually think so. I think they looked at this movie and were like, this message isn't hitting anymore. We need a different one. A one that rings true for 2025.
That is so last year.
We should make a movie that says empower women by saying that Nani shouldn't have to put a hold on her life just because she has a kid. Lilo, she should be able to go to college and do what she wants without having to deal with a kid. We really need Nani to kick Lilo to the curb. Parenthood can be planned, and it should be.
That's just wrong.
Yeah, I think that's what they were saying. And you know what? The new message sucks. It's stupid. There's a bunch of single women out there doing the most. most, and still taking care of their family, and still loving their kids. There was no need to get rid of her. But Disney was like, yeah, let's get rid of the children.
Anyway, I hate kids.
Truly, they made a horrible mess of the original, changing things that didn't need to be changed, mucking up the ending, and ruining the heart of the original movie entirely. I don't know about y'all, but let's just all collectively condemn this movie and stick to watching the original, because there was literally nothing bad about the original. The message still stands the test of time, everything still stands the test of time. We don't want to give money to a movie that gives a message like this. All you're telling Disney is that we're cool with junk like this.
Wrap that up and give it to a child on Christmas, because we're done.
Hey, don't go yet, there's still more to see. Click right here to check out my most recent Pop Talk. Have you heard that MatPat's gonna be in FNAF 2? And are you as confused as me that Screamboat Willie is getting a sequel? Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and just remember, once you pass the popcorn to me, it's okay to talk, it's okay to text, and I'll see you later. Bye!